Welcome. My name is Abel Sanchez. Today we're going to be talking about data. We often talk about big data. We're starting to be able to instrument our world. Data is coming from the movements in the weather, from the movements of a leaf, from every single thing that we see and can observe in our life, we can get data. This is obviously also happening within organizations. We're currently working on a platform where we can get data manipulated and create recommendations that we give decision makers. We call this situational awareness and a risk framework upon where we can quantify the information that we provide a decision maker. We've worked on 4 tiers for this. The first tier is anomaly detection and data gathering. We then go on to the next tier where we do predictive analytics. We then couple all of that into a visual environment where we can create visual analytics. Ultimately, we present all of this information in a customized interface that makes it easier for the novice to be able to look and think over large amounts of data and make decisions based on a risk score, as I mentioned. I'll mention a few words about what this platform actually is. We defined it into 7 layers, and I'll mention them briefly. That's ingestion, enrichment, detectors, matching, integration, ranking, and ultimately that visual environment. I'll say a few words about what each of these layers are. At the very first tier, we have ingestion. This is taking information into our data stores. This is more challenging than it might seem because our data is rich and it comes in many different varieties. So simply the size of it and the variety of it is overwhelming. But we have a lot of experience within our group in high-performance computing and engineering computation. And we're leveraging those tools and those techniques and that expertise that we've built over time to be able to handle that challenge. The next tier is enrichment. We don't just take the information that we have, we in fact enrich it by reaching out onto the web and bringing back information. This may be geolocation, this may be information from social networks, this might be a link analysis. We bring all of that information and we take the documents that we had already ingested and enrich them. We then run through a detector layer, and this detector has a lot of advanced algorithms and computational techniques that can identify units of data within these documents, which is followed then by the matching layer. All of this information comes together and you start to get those links between documents. You start to make those relationships. Ultimately, we have the integration of all of these matches, which we often call red flags, especially within a financial environment. And we create these sophisticated graphs, these large graphs. And you can already start at this level to see some of the groupings of information. So if, say, you were analyzing information or databases that had weddings, you would start to see these separate networks that would be representative of different weddings taking place throughout time. At the same time, if you had this massive network, then you would be looking at one gigantic data within this data set. We then rank this information, we do probabilistic analysis, and we start to thicken, if you would, those links that we have between nodes, between documents, and you start to get visibility or insight. We try to identify what we often call the needle. It becomes thicker so we can see it. And we end up with all of this information presented visually to the decision maker. We present to them a rich visual environment and where a person or the analyst can sift through data, can select date ranges, or simply select groups of detectors that can be applied to this data. We're very happy about the progress we've made, and we've been able to outperform many of the techniques that are available at the moment. So with that, I'd invite you to contact us and inquire about these new techniques that we're doing. We're always happy to share our work. And with that, I'll go ahead and close. And thank you for your attention. Goodbye.